Good evening. I'd like to call the Village Board meeting for the Village of Cary for April 21st, 2026 to order with roll call, please.
Collier,
Here.
Dudek,
Here.
McAlpine,
Here.
Persina,
Here.
Kounick,
Here.
and Walworth is absent.
And I will entertain a motion to allow Anthony Stefani to attend remotely due to a work commitment.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Welcome, Anthony. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Now moving to the open forum where the public is given an opportunity to address the village board on any matter of business that's not on the agenda, and we ask that you keep your comments to 3 minutes. No one signed in? Since no one signed in, we'll go ahead and close open forum at 6:01. A couple proclamations tonight. We have Earth Day. Earth Day, April 22nd, 2026, whereas the global community now faces extraordinary challenges such as environmental degradation, climate change, food and water shortage, and global health issues, and whereas all people, regardless of race, gender, income, or geography, have the moral right to a healthy, sustainable environment, and whereas a sustainable environment can be achieved on the individual level through educational efforts, public policy, and consumer activism campaigns. Now, therefore, it be resolved, I, Mark Kounick, Mayor of the Village of Cary, do proclaim April 22nd, 2026 as Earth Day in the Village of Cary to support environmental initiatives in the Village of Cary and to encourage others to undertake similar actions, dated this 21st day of April 2026. And one more for Arbor Day. Arbor Day, April 24th, 2026, whereas 1872 J. Sterling Morton proposed to the Nebraska Board of Agriculture that a special day be set aside for the planting of trees, and whereas this holiday called Arbor Day was first observed with the planting of more than 1 million trees in Nebraska, and whereas trees can reduce erosion of our precious topsoil by wind and water, cut heating and cooling costs, moderate the temperature, clean the air, produce life-giving oxygen, and provide habitat for wildlife, and whereas trees are a renewable resource giving us paper, wood for our homes, fuel for our fires, and countless other wood products. And whereas trees in our village increase property values, enhance the economic vitality of businesses, areas, and beautify our community, now therefore be it resolved that I, Mark Kounick, Mayor of the Village of Cary, do hereby proclaim April 24th, 2026 as Arbor Day in the Village of Cary, dated this 21st day of April. Moving on, I'm adding some commentary about what's going on in our great state and how it's going to impact the Village of Cary, and not only the Village of Cary, our county, our region, as well as the state. I'm going to talk a little bit about Senate Bill 4060, 4061, 4062, 4063, 4064, and 4071. Those are the ones that we will be highlighting, but I will be speaking specifically about 4061, which is the state's part of the build program with missing middle housing. There is the Senate bill that's 4060 requires municipalities to designate one residential zoning district that allows detached single-family homes on lots no larger than 2,500 square feet, effectively eliminating a minimum lot size above that threshold for single-family dwellings. The bill establishes minimum dwelling unit allowances for lots of various sizes and expressly permits a range of housing types, including cottage clusters, courtyard housing, triplexes, fourplexes, stacked flatplexes, and the conversion of existing homes into multifamily housing. Municipal development standards, including those governing bulk, lot area, setbacks, height, parking, density, floor area, lot coverage, access, unit size, building separation, and design, may be enforced only if they are clear and objective, and do not discourage multifamily housing on typical lots, and do not unreasonably delay development. Municipalities may not apply standards more restrictive than those for detached single homes, imposing parking requirements for units under 1,500 square feet, require more than 0.5 spaces per multifamily unit or 1 space per single-family home, or subject multifamily housing to discretionary reviews unless those same requirements apply to single-family dwellings. This is a clear reduction of our local control. It is something that is very concerning to us, and we are, through the other boards that I represent, we are fighting these things. And right now, we are through the Metropolitan Mayor's Caucus, mayors, McHenry County Council of Governments, as well as the Illinois Municipal League. We are fighting this together as three different groups, and we are asking all elected officials, staff, and our residents to contact their legislators and let them know that this is something that's not good. We're dealing with right now, we've had a couple of large developments that are coming into the town. One that was passed, I'll talk on that. We were very specific about allowing the number of units and the open space and the number of parking requirements and the commercial aspect to those things. If this was in place at that time, the developer would not have to allow for any parking. They wouldn't have to allow for any open space, and they can put whatever they want in whatever size they want. Moving forward to the proposed development at which is now called the Cary Station, formerly known as Maplewood. If we didn't have an RDA in place right now and this legislation passes, that could all be completely changed. They could put any level of building they want, any density that they want. They don't have to allow for any parking whatsoever, no open space. And these are things that are going to be detrimental to the communities that we know, that we move to because we want to live in these things. Another thing that I'll be highlighting over the next couple of weeks, and starting with this, starting tomorrow, I believe, or this week, we will be posting a letter from the mayor's office explaining all these things to the communities because, out and about, the people that have the most say in this are the people sitting here in the audience that have an opportunity to contact their legislators and let them know what they feel about this. I'm not telling you how to do it, I'm just telling you how we feel that it should be done. Another part of this build, Illinois, is the building code single stairway. Imagine having an 8-flat or a 12-flat with all these units. They're only required to have only one staircase. We require 2 for in the event of a fire or an emergency. There has to be an additional access to the building. That would go away. The mitigation fees. Our local impact fees would essentially go away. We would have to abide by what the state is requiring us to do. Think about how not only the municipality is going to be affected, but schools. We have a school district right now that tells us at their capacity. If this goes through, imagine the number of kids that are going to be affected that are going to impact these schools without the fees that are needed to continue to educate our children. Building plans and its inspections. It's got to be done within 15 to 30 days. If it's not done within that time frame, the developer has the right to get their own developer or their own inspection, and we have no control over that. We have to do whatever the inspectors say. I've already touched a little bit about parking restrictions. There will be no parking restrictions. Our downtown, if there's any new redevelopment or anything goes on, they do not have to allow for any parking. And finally, the accessory dwellings units, sometimes called granny shacks. Although we're not as opposed to something like that, I think that's a viable way to bring communities together. But there are areas within our community that just wouldn't work. Not only for that, we got to look about stormwater. We've got to look at our infrastructure in some of these areas. They're set up specifically for single-family homes. And imagine having your next-door neighbors sell their house to a developer, and they're going to put up a 3-flat or a 4-flat. Now that is going to impact our stormwater. It's going to impact our water and sewer. These are things that are not being addressed. So we will continue to fight for what's best for the village of Cary. And moving forward, I hope that people will stay engaged. The more conversations that we have about this, the better it is. If you go on Metropolitan Mayor's Caucus website or McHenry County Council of Governments website or the Illinois Municipality's website, it'll tell you how to file a witness slip in objection. It is not just for elected officials or village staff, it's for our residents to pose their thoughts and if they're in opposition or in favor of something. This is something that we are asking that our residents take a strong stance on this, and this is something that is not good for municipalities. As a matter of fact, the Illinois Municipal League, we're going to be taking a stance on this publicly next week. We have a board meeting, and it's going to address a lot of these concerns, as well as the governor's blaming municipalities for the high costs of home costs and things. So with that being said, hate to be negative Nelly here, but these are things that are important. And the more I talk to the community, the more like, why don't we know about this? Well, we're trying to get it out. As you can see, there's a handful of people here right now. So anyway, moving on to the regular board meeting, I will entertain a motion to approve consent agenda items A through L as shown on the village's website and is displayed on the video monitor during the village board meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Stefani,
Yes.
Dudek,
Yes.
Persina,
Yes.
McAlpine,
Yes.
Collier.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. We have one item on our items for separate action. I will entertain a motion for approval of an ordinance amending section 14.3.5 outdoor seating on public property of the village code.
So moved. Second.
Thank you. Brian,
Kick it off, Mayor, and then I'll
okay.
hand it over to Director Simmons for any questions. At the committee's direction, at the March 16th, 2026 Committee of the Whole meeting, we are presenting a new amended ordinance for outdoor seating on public property for village board consideration. The two main points that are highlighted in the amended ordinance are adding additional language for maintenance and upkeep, and then for outdoor dining on public property, only allowing outdoor dining on a hard surface such as asphalt, concrete, brick, or wood. And then also in the narrative, we got direction to continue keeping it as an administrative function and continue a no permit fee process. So with that, we would open it up to any questions from the board for Director Simmons.
So no permit fee, but still a permit. It's still permitted, where they have to come and get permitted to do that, correct?
They have to give permission from the village for that, but
Okay.
this it's basically administrative review.
It's pretty much exactly what we asked for. Any other comments or questions?
Just as a reminder, is there any protocol in place if a business, I'm not even saying something that exists now, but in the future, if they wanted to get a variance on some of this, that's still an option for the business owners, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes. It's within the Unified Development Ordinance, so any regulations within that section, somebody can apply for variance and we go through before the zoning board and village board for approval.
Thank you very much.
Any other comments? Roll call, please.
Right. Stefani,
Yes.
Collier,
Yes.
Dudek,
Yes.
McAlpine,
Yes.
Persina.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Moving to village staff update. Are you up, Nick, on this too?
I don't have any,
You have nothing.
surprisingly.
Okay. Chief Hayes.
We will once again be taking part in the DA's National Take Back. They do it twice a year, once in the spring, once in the fall. The next date is Saturday, April 25th, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Myself and DC Nadenoff will be out here to meet the public and collect any unused prescription medications. It's a good program. We run it year-round in our lobby with our collection, but keeping those materials out of our landfills, our water, it's a much better way to dispose of unused pharmaceuticals. So we encourage the public to come out and take advantage of this opportunity.
Thank you, Chief.
That's me again. I have in front of me the situation report from McHenry County Emergency Management regarding flooding in the area due to all the rain that we've taken the past week or two. This came out last night, 7 p.m. I'll probably get another one 7 p.m. tonight. But as of last night, Fox River at Algonquin forecast at 11.9 feet to crest tomorrow. 12 feet flat is the impact threshold that triggers significant actions. As right now, Rawson Bridge Road is fully flooded and closed between South Rawson Bridge Road and in Cary and 614 Rawson Bridge Road in Port Barrington, standing water on River Road and Fern View Road, Moraine Hill State Park. Upstream conditions remain elevated. They're still somewhat concerned. There are no boil orders in effect. They've ordered additional sandbag resources just in case. That 12-foot threshold is the key impact trigger because that's where structures start to get threatened in the area and downstream. Boating restrictions are in effect on the chain and the Fox River. There is no boating allowed right now. The only one that really tied to us in the report was unincorporated Cary when they talked about priority residential risk areas. And in unincorporated Cary, the risk areas are access and egress and habitability concerns. Key issues, risks. They're still calling it an extended duration event because it's not going to quickly decline. Even after a crest, they're expecting a slow recession of the water. And then the last part they have is their bottom line. Conditions remain stable, but they're near the escalation thresholds. As far as we're concerned, for Cary, we are ready. Public Works has sand, they have bags. Should we have the need or should we escalate or these numbers go up and we get into a triggering event, we are prepared to provide resources and assist the community.
And I think it's also important to note that we're fortunate here in Cary that the elevations of our riverfront properties are higher than many of the surrounding communities and surrounding areas where they're seeing more of the impacts like downstream in Algonquin, upstream in Port Barrington. So we are obviously still monitoring the situation, and if that changes, our team is ready, and obviously there's support from the county as well. But at this time, that's just an update on where we're at, but we're not facing the same kind of threats with the flooding right now that many of our surrounding neighbors are.
Couple updates for Public Works. We talked about this last few meetings, but it is quickly approaching. The spring cleanup through Flood Brothers is taking place this Saturday, April 25th, if you're a resident south of the railroad tracks, and next week on Saturday, May 2nd, north of the railroad tracks. Also, our 2026 spring curbside brush pickup is going to take place first week on May 4th, north of the tracks. We'll be doing a pickup, and then the following week on Monday, May 11th, south of the tracks. Just a reminder to have the brush out on Sunday night because crews do a one-time pass. We do have some guidelines here of the size of the piles and size of the branches. If it exceeds that, you're welcome to call Public Works and we can do a quote for a nominal fee to do that pickup after the curbside pickup is completed. And then a reminder for residents that Flood Brothers also offers unlimited weekly curbside brush pickup on your assigned date if you have it bundled and it's less than 4 feet in length or if it's in the waste bags. And finally, in conjunction with the brush pickup, we do our spring hydrant flushing. So the week of May 4th, while we're doing the brush pickup on the north side of the tracks, the south side of the tracks, we'll see hydrant flushing taking place, and then vice versa. They'll flip on the week of Monday, May 11th, north of the tracks. We'll start our hydrant flushing there.
Just want to add that Trustee McAlpine and Trustee Dudek and some of our staff were fortunate to attend the annual Chamber of Commerce dinner on Friday. Appreciate them braving the windy weather and the tornado warnings, but it was a very festive event, and we are honored that the Chamber did award the Village of Cary and the Public Works Department the Award of Excellence, in particular with regards to the response to the August 2025 storms. So I know that was a all-hands-on-deck event, from the police in the beginning to Public Works and administration with the power outages to community development with all the record levels of permits that were encountered with the restoration. So, but the honor is very appreciated, and also, obviously, the thanks goes out to our staff for managing that response. Don't forget the fire department as well.
Thank you. Katie Ward, anything for us today?
No update tonight.
Nope. Okay, any future agenda items and discussion by the village board? None said. I will entertain a motion to adjourn into executive session to discuss closed session minutes review, 5 Illinois CS 120/2C21, personnel, appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees, 5 ILCS 120/2C1.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We are adjourning into executive session at 6:20, and we will adjourn this meeting at the end of our executive session. So this concludes the public portion of our meeting.